Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Neptune's Child Tarot. Thank you guys all so much for being here. Your continued love and support here on the channel. So today's pick a card reading, we're doing what is the universe preparing you for? Okay, what is the universe preparing you for? So let's take a look. We're going to pull three different cards for three groups. What is the universe preparing you for? So let's choose something for group one. Group two, what is the universe preparing you for? And group three, and then we'll add some crystals on here for you guys. Okay, so let's see what we've got. We have the Mother for group one, and that is going to be, let's do a Lapis Lazuli for group one. For group two, we have the Queen, and we're going to do a yellow Jasper. And group three, we have the Unseen, and let's do an Opalite for that one. So group three, the Unseen with the Opalite. So what is the universe preparing you for? For those of you that feel connected to numbers, the Mother is card one. So group one, you have card one, the Mother with Lapis Lazuli. Group two, you have card number 11, the Queen with the yellow Jasper. And then group three, you are card number 27, the Unseen with Opalite. Timestamps will be down below for you guys. What is the universe preparing you for? Pause the video if you need more time, and I will see you guys at your reading. Hi, group one. So those of you that resonated with the Lapis Lazuli and the Mother card, this is going to be your reading today. So we're asking Spirit, what is the universe preparing you for? I already have some ideas here, but I want to see what the tarot brings out. But yeah, let's just wait. And then we will see where this is going. So what is the universe preparing you for? Group one. Some of you may feel like it's not just the preparation that you're feeling right now. It could be something that you've had or you've continued to experience throughout your life. Okay. So what is the universe preparing you for, group one? We have the Hermit. Wheel of Fortune, Five of Pentacles. Ten of Wands. King of Cups. Well, the major arcana that we have coming through here is the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune is about major change. This is talking about cycles. This could be something that is related to past karmic cycles. It's making me kind of feel like, and moving out of these cycles here. Page of Cups, the Seven of Swords. There is Temperance. Okay. I think I'm actually going to pull one more. Seven of Wands. We have the Eight of Wands at the bottom, followed by the Strength card. Hierophant, King of Pentacles, the Five of Swords, okay, so we get the Five of Swords, the Six of Swords, Ace of Swords. It looks like there's some type of breakthrough here. Okay, so I'm gonna go with what I was feeling intuitively before I started pulling cards. The one thing that I noticed about this Mother card, if you guys can see it, is that there is a pearl right here in the center of this card. And pearls are made within an oyster where the sand inside of the oyster, the delicate parts, right, of the oyster, the sand actually irritates the inside of the oyster. And so pearls are created through irritation, agitation with the sand. And so to me, this is kind of symbolic for pressure, stress, challenge. For some of you, it might even be trauma. And I noticed that it looks like there's like a nest here. And then inside there's a snake here that's kind of wrapped all the way around in a circle here. And so with the snake, this to me is a symbol of transformation. And so I feel that those of you that chose this path, I don't think it's all of you, but some of you may have had a challenging relationship with your mother. And perhaps this was something that could have led to a lot of growth for you, but in a way that may have been very difficult. Because the first card out, well, actually, no, I missed that. The other major arcana here is the Hermit. You've also got the Lovers and Temperance card. So the Hermit is about self-discovery, okay? And it is kind of like the journey inward. It is navigating through the darkness, through, for some of you, dark night of the soul. And that dark night of the soul is something that we can go through many different times in our life. We might feel lost. We might feel disconnected. And so the journey inward is really something that helps us to get better connected into our most authentic self, okay? Some of you may have also had mothers that were overprotective. The way that snake is kind of coiled all around in a circle in the nest. I can also see this in the opposite way, in which it's nurturing. You know, it's a nurturing in a way, maybe for some of you. But I feel like maybe there's certain things that you may have gone through that have also taught you to learn to, or had to have to, even for some of you, to learn to nurture yourself, to love yourself. I feel like with the Page of Cups energy here, this could certainly be talking about self-love. The Page of Cups can represent a very childlike energy, very innocent, very playful, very creative, very intuitive, imaginative, very tuned into arts and music and poetry and just creative things and just this beautiful imagination, very fantasy-like, you know, kind of like that feeling that we have as a child where we can believe, we truly believe in ourselves and we believe that we can do anything. But for some of you, that could have been something that was taken away. I'm noticing that we do have the Four of Pentacles here, which can be a card of security. It can also be about possession and control. So some of you, it could have been that there was a mother or even a mother figure, a caregiver, for some of you, a grandparent even, who may have been controlling, who may have been possessive. This is also a clingy energy. So some of you could have having a mother that was maybe even very needy, you know, that sometimes forces up to kind of grow up. What do they call that? Parentification? Is that the right word? Let me look it up real quick. I think that's what it's called, where you kind of have to be the parent. Parentification. Yeah, that's what it is. Parentification, where you have to take up roles as an adult and that might be feeling like you have to be the parent. You have to kind of step up and do that. So there could be so many different situations with this, but that's basically what I'm getting here, is that there's something here surrounding mother figure. And the Seven of Wands here to me is about boundaries, you know, and maybe for some of you, there's boundaries that were needed. It could be maybe even in your adult life where you feel like you need, or you have to learn to have healthy boundaries, even with family members. And so there could have been certain things from your childhood, I feel like, that could have affected you in terms of how you see yourself. Could have been something that caused even some insecurities here. This almost kind of feels the way that I'm seeing the Seven of Swords kind of running away from like the Lovers card here. And the Lovers is it's a card of choice, making a decision, making a choice here. But the Lovers can talk about people that we have close to us. It could even be, depending on what kind of a relationship we've had with a parent, it can affect the way that we interact in our adult life with our adult relationships with partners, you know. And the Seven of Swords energy here can talk about deception, betrayal, trust issues. You know, so if we felt betrayed by a parent, lied to, you know, manipulated, and even because some of you could have gone through that as well, had an emotionally manipulative parent. Like I said, there could be so many different things that have gone on here. I'm also noticing the Five of Pentacles here, which is about isolation, feeling shut out. So if you had a parent who was emotionally immature, okay, where they were not a good support system to help you through your own difficult emotions, you as a person very well can't learn how to be emotionally mature because you don't really have the tools, right, to support you in your own growth. So we can even turn into emotionally immature adults where we are not able to express our feelings and our emotions, or we don't know how to control our emotions. We might be, you know, overly sensitive, or we might be very clingy or needy or even detached. Okay. So with the Lovers here, I feel that this is helping you with finding union and balance within the self. Temperance is also here, which is about healing, transmuting energy. Some of you may even have an abandonment wound or even a rejection wound or emotional neglect. That could, because the Five of Pentacles is about a lack of resources. We're feeling some type of lack or emptiness or void within the self, feeling unworthy. Okay, the Ten of Wands is here, which is about feeling, or more so, I feel like in this case, carrying the emotional burdens, heaviness, feeling overwhelmed, feeling stress, maybe carrying a lot energetically from the past. And so the Ten of Wands is really a message about asking us, what can we let go of? What can we release? The Seven of Wands is about facing challenges, adversity, facing things head on, learning how to stand up for ourselves, how to stand our ground, how to defend, how to protect ourselves, how to have healthy boundaries. There, with the Four of Pentacles, this could even be going into, again, we're talking about security here, the Four and Five of Pentacles. This would be more so feeling insecure. This is that feeling of a loss of security. Here we might actually have experienced the loss of security. So this could even be a fear of loss. We could be feeling super insecure. We might shut down. We might be closed off. We could have a fear of losing somebody that we love, especially when we get into our adult relationships. And so we have the healing aspect here, the transmuting of the energy, the change, right, that's taking place here, the transformation. This is the process of alchemy, transmuting one form of energy into another. And so we have the King of Cups here, which is about emotional mastery. Okay. And I don't feel, for those of you that chose this pile, that it's been an easy road. I feel like there's been a lot of a learning here. And I feel that some of you that have chosen this pile have gone through a lot, okay, energetically speaking. But I feel that with the Hermit energy being here, this is really stepping into the darkness, facing it, and navigating our way through it. And through that process of doing that, it helps you to get deeper connected into your most authentic self through that process of learning and growing and maturing and taking time to understand really how you feel, and but then also being able to express that. And so the King of Cups is about emotional mastery, and it's about being in control of your emotions, staying calm, so that we're not allowing ourselves to act out impulsively or, you know, kind of have our emotions control us, but more we're in that place where we can observe, allow those feelings or emotions, no matter what they might be, to one extreme to another, to observe them, to allow ourselves to feel them, to let them kind of move through us, and to still be able to maintain the balance. And so with the Wheel of Fortune being present, this, I feel like, is bringing about beautiful change, beautiful transformation that's taking place here to kind of shift things, especially where there has been certain patterns or certain cycles that one may have been caught up in. Now, with that, when we're asking the question today, what is the universe preparing you for? I feel that those of you that have chosen this pile might be called to a path of healing. Maybe even providing guidance or mentorship to others. Stepping to role of being a healer. It could even be going into healthcare, where you could do something to serve others that it requires compassion, requires empathy. Some of you might be called to very spiritual paths. This could be going into, because this is also incredibly intuitive energy. Some of you might be called to use your spiritual gifts in this lifetime. And traditionally, the King of Cups could be a person who's a doctor or a nurse or, a social worker, a counselor, a therapist. And the more unconventional would be maybe taking up shamanic practices, becoming a Reiki healer, a therapist of some kind, especially when it's more, I want to say, unconventional types of roles or jobs. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting here, is that not only do you, learn, say, from going to school and getting a certification or a degree or studying for a long time, but I feel like you also have the life experience, your tools that you have kind of go beyond what can be learned in a book, because you have the practical experience of moving through, maybe for some of you, some very challenging energies, and still being able to kind of come out the other side of that darkness and finding that light within side of yourself again, and being able to then to shine your light for others to help them navigate their way through their own darkness. Okay. And maybe for some of you, like I said, that could be where you become a spiritual guide, a spiritual mentor, or decide, like I said, to do something maybe a little bit more unconventional with that. Some of you might even be drawn to music or art or dance, something that's also incredibly healing for people, like music therapy, art therapy, things of that nature. But I love this energy. I know, like I said, looking at it, maybe it hasn't been the most pleasant experience, but I feel that, because we also, in the Lover's card here, this is, I believe is it Archangel Raphael, I believe. I think it is. Temperance is also Raphael, if I remember right. Hold on a second. Let me look at my little book here. But either way, this is about transmuting energy. It might be Archangel Michael and Raphael. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, it says the lover is Archangel Raphael. And then Temperance. Oh, Gabriel. Okay. Temperance is Archangel Gabriel. The messenger angel is depicted on the card. He bears the sign of the sun on his forehead. It is also the alchemist symbol of gold. Temperance and the moon card balance each other. Okay, so Archangel Gabriel. Raphael. Yeah, I feel that many of you could be called onto a path of as a healer, this could be helping others with transformation. So I want to clarify this Wheel of Fortune. Actually, let's talk about this bottom of the deck energy. We got the Eight of Wands, the Strength card, and the Hierophant. The Strength card too is also it's gentle, it's kind, it's confident, it's powerful. I feel like this is also something where you learn how to, again, calming your energy, taming it in a way, being in control of it. The Hierophant can also be about higher education, learning, wisdom, knowledge. And so some of you might even feel called to a path as a spiritual teacher, okay? To be able to teach others. And we have the King of Pentacles here, the Five of Swords, Six of Swords. That's what I liked earlier, is because there's a breakthrough here. You know, we're moving past even resentment, anger, feeling more secure in ourself, which also helps one to feel more successful. Moving through this energy, feeling more stable, solid. I feel like it's, and more so it's helping you to rebuild your foundation. More solid, more structured. Also the Mother, to me, that's like kind of the Empress energy. And then we have the Emperor here, which again is the whole masculine, feminine balance of energies here. So I do want to clarify that Wheel of Fortune. But before we get into, I was just kind of sitting here looking at things. Before we get into pulling the Wheel of Fortune, I feel like I also have to kind of state the obvious with the Mother energy being here, is that for those of you that are parents or, you know, are planning to have children, I also feel like this helps you in your own growth so that you can step into that role of through your own learning and growing and personal development, can be that much of a better parent who is able to give your children that beautiful gift of emotional bonding and connecting, nurturing, compassion, empathy, and being a good emotional support system, you know, which could be very different than what you may have experienced, but to be able to bond on such a deeper level with that. Okay, so let's see, what is this Wheel of Fortune energy here? Magician in reverse. Yeah, I feel like this is moving you into a place of feeling perhaps disempowered. Yeah, this is clearly moving you out of a karmic cycle. For some of you with the Judgment card being present, this could even be things from your past life, you know, cycles there, karmic cycles. I feel like a feeling disempowered. Okay. I'm also at the bottom of the deck, I'm seeing the Knight of Cups and the Nine of Cups here. So the Nine of Cups is wish fulfillment. It's about happiness, joy, contentment, satisfaction. With the Knight of Cups energy here, this is also a very loving energy. So leading with your heart, being very heart-centered. And so I feel like this also puts you in a position where you're able to appreciate life and connections with relationships with others. Because I feel like not only is this healing you, right, and relationships that you have with close family, but also how you engage with romantic partners, you know? It's a lot of, I feel like, very powerful growth that's happening there. So I feel like I want to clarify, let's see, this Mother energy here. Look at, this is so cool. I love this. The Empress, perfect. The Fool. Ten of Pentacles, that is family. You know, so especially for those of you that are looking for love, okay, open to love, it could be preparing you for a beautiful relationship, one that is very emotionally supportive for you, because it's like you've done that inner work, right? You've done that inner work to really learn to love yourself, to nurture yourself, to feel worthy, right? Versus unworthy and disempowered. But for you to take control back, right? Of the way in which you kind of show up, very heart-based, very heart-centered. The full energy is a new beginning. It's new possibilities. So it kind of gives you this brand new fresh start with being able to connect with others, no matter who they are in your life, in a very more much more heart-centered way, where you have deep, meaningful connections with people, right? And you have boundaries here that you've learned, or you will learn, or continuing to learn, that if something doesn't embody, or someone, right, doesn't embody the energy of love and care and compassion and empathy, and someone who can show up in that way, that you don't let that kind of energy near you. You set some standards here, and I feel like that speaks loudly. And for those of you that are in relationships, that could be something that helps you to connect with your partners in an even deeper way, that can help to stabilize, to harmonize, to balance your relationships. And of course, there has to be work that comes from the other person's side, where they want to continue to grow and evolve, to deepen the bond and connection. But if you're in a relationship with someone who doesn't care to grow or to meet you on that level of the heart, then I feel like that also gives you the strength to walk away. It gives you the strength to let go of what is no longer serving you. Okay? So I feel like in the way that the universe is preparing you is to receive love in a way that maybe for many of you haven't received it before in that way, on such a deep, profound level. And to really, with those tools, be able to have some very deep, meaningful connections with people, with friends, with family members, really connections in your life that are very meaningful to you, that have security, stability, longevity to them. And even with those tools, be then ready to kind of pass those down, to people that you interact with. And then, like I said, maybe some of you could be starting a family, if that is what you're wanting to do, because the Empress can also talk about birthing, a pregnancy, baby, right? That would be the obvious there. So those of you that are like looking for your, life partner, manifesting that, and I feel like this is certainly helping you to change in a really beautiful way. And for those of you that are, not on that path of having children, and that's perfectly okay. The Empress puts us into a space where we are super creative, right? We've got that creative energy that's here. And that could be, manifesting beautiful things into our life, right? The Empress is about beauty and surrounding yourself with beautiful things, or living in beauty, seeing beauty within the world and within yourself. The power to create, the power to manifest, to create balance. And I noticed that we have the Empress here, which is quite interesting. I just noticed the Empress is Taurus and Libra energy, which is ruled by Venus. But then we've also got the Justice card here, which is also Libra energy, and that is 7th house energy, which has to do with relationships, okay? Justice has to do with fairness, equality, balance, mutual respect, integrity, treating each other, right, with respect, right? Fairness and balance in the way that we treat others. And so if that is something that you haven't experienced in the past, where there was mistreatment, again, this gives you the opportunity to make those changes and to learn also, because judgment is life review. We learn from the past. We learn from the cycles that we've gone through. So we say, okay, you know, I made that choice in the past and it wasn't the best for me, but I can make different choices moving forward. Or even if we've been in certain cycles with family, we know that we can change it. We don't have to carry that energy down. We can create a different flow of energy. This kind of reminds me of the reading that I did this morning, actually. I did it for channel members, but for those of you that are channel members and you tuned into that reading, there was a message that was coming through from the ancestors about the need for breaking cycles. Okay, so this kind of reminds me a lot of that message that came through this morning. Okay, all right, so that is what I do have for you, group number 1. I do hope this was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next reading. Hi, group 2. So those of you that resonated with the yellow Jasper and the Queen card, number 11, this is going to be your reading today. So let's get into it. What is the universe preparing you for? What is the universe preparing you for, group 2? Ace of Wands. Page of Cups in reverse. 2 of Pentacles. The Lovers. Page of Swords. 3 of Swords. The Emperor. The Chariot. Three of Wands. Eight of Pentacles. And the Strength card. Okay. So I definitely feel like there's some learning here, and I feel that it might not be easy. But I'm noticing that we've got the Page of Swords energy here, which is about studying something, observing, taking in information, and learning from it. And the Three of Swords is right next to that. The Three of Swords is about heartbreak. It's about pain, suffering, but also healing. And so for some of you, this could be that there has been some challenging experiences that you have experienced when it has come to your love life. Some of you, I feel, and I don't know why, this pile feels almost kind of like connected to group 1 some way. Because in group 1, it was talking about a mother wound, and I almost kind of feel here there's a father wound that may have affected the way in which we're connecting with partners here, because we do have the Page of Cups showing up in reverse. And when Page of Cups is in reverse, there could be emotional blockages. There might be a wounded inner child. There could be a need for focusing on self-love, a need for nurturing and healing the inner child. And so there might be a father wound here, or there might be a significant masculine energy, okay, regardless of gender, a significant masculine energy that you may have dealt with that could have been quite painful. And the Chariot energy is helping to move forward towards success, towards freedom, freeing yourself from this energy here. And so I feel like when I'm seeing the Queen, it feels like it feels very like Queen of Wands energy, Queen of Wands. So this is charismatic, it's confident, it's feeling attractive, desirable. It's also a very passionate energy. And you have the Ace of Wands there, which it could be looked at as some kind of spark within you that you're maybe rediscovering, or something being ignited within you. And the Two of Pentacles here, so maybe some of you have dealt with people that have been very inconsistent. You could have even had people come in and out of your life. For some of you, that might be reflected in a father energy who wasn't present. Either abandonment, or even for some of you, losing a father. Okay. And still kind of recovering and healing from that wound, or something that we need to address here. And we have the Eight of Pentacles present, which is about self-mastery. It's about putting in effort and work, being a better version of ourselves. And the Strength card has to do with confidence, So if there's been connections in your life, whether they've been romantic or even ones that you've had with a father or male figure in your life, even a grandparent, that have taken your self-esteem away, that have made you feel less than, that have made you feel undesirable, unattractive, in the way that certain things can affect us mentally, emotionally. I feel like this is something where spirit is, or the universe, I should say, going through this, that the universe is preparing you for, because it is through, and this is the same thing I was telling group 1, is that even though some of these things that we go through can be so painful and so challenging for us to overcome, if we choose to, especially with connections or relationships that we have in our life that are significant to us, that really kind of break us down, it is an opportunity for us to rebuild. And certainly into a better, stronger version of self, and to not let the past be something that continues to keep us a prisoner to, whatever it was that we went through. And so the Three of Wands energy is about anticipating. And I feel like this is about having a person, for those of you that are open to it, preparing you for receiving the person who is in your highest alignment. Okay, someone who is going to offer the stability that you need, that you want, that you desire when it comes to a romantic relationship. And that would be for those of you that are open, right, to love and to connection with the person, especially if you're single, or even if you are in a relationship right now and you're feeling like that relationship doesn't resonate for you any longer, that you would also have the courage to remove yourself from that situation and to put yourself into alignment with the person that you are meant to be with, or you feel is a better match for you. Now, for those of you where this doesn't have to do so much with love, this could have more to do with the way that you feel about yourself, and helping you to find inner balance, inner alignment within yourself, and to help you to feel more comfortable with what you're perhaps working on. Because the Emperor can talk about structures and foundations and, building your own empire. So that may even be putting you into a position where you are really building a solid, stable life for yourself, where you could be, going through, because the Two of Pentacles can talk even about going through some financial ups and downs, and, trying to make ends meet and trying to be more financially secure. So this could even be putting you into a position where you're working on an aspect of yourself that feels more intuitive, that feels more creative, that feels more confident in your masculine energy, where you can take decisive action, you can be more disciplined, you can be more organized, You can make things more structured in your life, something that's going to really help you to get to where you want to be, let's just say with your career, or to, work towards financial independence and security, and to help you to feel more confident to go after those dreams and those goals that you really want to achieve. And that Ace of Wands could be looked at as divine inspiration, a creative idea that you have. And instead of focusing on past disappointments of how certain things didn't work out in the past, again, we can look at those things and learn from them. Observe, okay, how did I act the last time? What kind of decisions did I make? What kind of a headspace was I in? Was I fear-based thinking? Was I feeling insecure when I made that choice and now I'm in a position that I don't want to be in? So it teaches us how to be more solid, I feel like, with the Emperor being here. And to help you with, again, with the Chariot requires a lot of willpower, a lot of focus and determination to be successful. So some of you, what is the universe preparing you for? Success, victory, being able to accomplish the goals and the dreams that you have. And that could be through making some changes, right? Making the Lovers is a choice card. So this could be making a big life change, a big life-changing decision. This could be changing career paths. It could be for some of you stepping onto a path of owning your own business, being the boss. Emperor is definitely boss energy. Okay. Some of you, it might even be, deciding I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to study. I'm going to pick up a new passion project. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to be more confident in myself. And really have a different vision of what I wish to create in my life. So I see different things here for different groups of you. But yeah, with the Queen energy here, that's like boss energy to me, that Queen of Wands energy. I actually feel like I want to look, and this is the Wild Unknown Archetypes. That is number 11. So let's see what it says about the Queen. Wow, it says the Empress, the Mother Queen, the Sovereign. So like Empress energy. It says, like her counterpart, the King, the Queen has a dualistic nature. Either she presides over the realm with grace and eloquence that comes from the heavens to uplift the spirit of others, or she falls into petty, contemptuous moods, casting the shadow across the land. If the king is the ego, the queen is the expression of that ego in the world. She is the lotus blossom, the dancer's bow, the moon's radiant reflection. When the queen is seated in her rightful and righteous place, she is patient and forgiving. She waits for the grace of God and Goddess to move through her, striving and grasping for nothing. To be the benevolent leader, right? The Emperor is also a leader. And to embody the Queen is to settle into deep trust, resolve, and power. Also, the Emperor power. The Royal Queen fears nothing, for divinity itself cradles her heart. Okay, so it says the embodiment of grace, courage, resolve, and stillness. But I feel like this also helps you with being in your power. So it's kind of like you know when to move. You know what moves to make, right? The Emperor is also incredibly strategic, right? Knows when to take decisive action, has a strategy, has a plan, know when it's time to act, okay? In order to get things done. And that's what the masculine energies does. It gets things done. It's successful. It's building, right? Foundation, structures. So there's a few things I want to clarify here. I feel like the Strength card too, it also is in a way where we handle ourselves in a very graceful way because it's very calm. It's about having self-control, not forcing things. Why is the Lovers here? Cups. King of Wands, also a leader. Three of Cups is also an energy of joy, celebration. For some of you, I feel like this is when we're asking, what is the universe preparing you for? You're reclaiming your power. You're reclaiming your power, reclaiming your throne, taking leadership of your life back, especially if there may have been certain situations that took your power away. The King of Wands is also a very confident energy. It's about forging a new path. Wow, the High Priestess. Yeah, I feel like this is being led by your intuition, trusting your intuition, leading yourself towards things in your life that bring you joy, that bring you happiness, pursuing your passions, having the confidence to. Some of you with the Page of Cups here too in reverse, that could also be blocked creativity. You know, blocked creativity, which would affect the feminine energy, a block within the feminine. So if you feel better about yourself, right, you feel more confident, you feel more, again, attractive, worthy, desirable, better about you. I feel like it could also be something that helps you to feel more confident with more, I feel like more tuned in to that creative part of you, but also having the confidence to go after whatever it is, you know. And that Ace of Wands, again, could be a spark, a creative spark that Spirit gives to you. I want to see what this Emperor energy is here. Yeah, look at that. Wheel of Fortune and the Magician. This is beautiful. This is powerful. We have the Hangman at the bottom, which is a shift of perspective. This is also an act of surrender, because the Wheel of Fortune is about going with the flow, right? Leading you towards your destiny. This is being more trusting. The Magician is about willpower, focused intention, manifestation. This is you really believing in yourself. So yeah, I feel like, to kind of sum it up, what is the universe preparing you for? You reclaiming your power. And maybe that's also helping you in terms of relationships as well, right? Where you're the more empowered version of yourself and you come into alignment with someone who matches your energy, not you having to lower yourself to be at another person's level, but where you have someone who's an energetic match for you, especially for those of you that are wanting, you know, a partner. Why is the Chariot here? Page of Wands. Yeah, for some of you, this is encouraging you to explore. You know, the Page of Wands is about feeling very enthusiastic about a new journey. It's very exploratory, very much like the Fool energy. It's about going down a new path, again, having the confidence to do so, to journey, to meander on your pathway, to try new things, to do new things, all about exploring. It's about you tapping into your infinite creative potential, okay? Learning something new. The Page of Swords, we can also look at that as like the beginner's mind, right? Especially for those of you that have already had certain big accomplishments in your life, this could be taking you back to that beginner's mindset, studying something new, beginning something new, being interested in something new that excites you, that brings you joy and happiness, something that you're feeling guided towards intuitively. And again, the main part of this is being confident enough in yourself, believing in yourself to dream it and to go after it. Right? And the Page of Cups is a dreamer, is all about fantasy and imagination and just these wild, crazy ideas of things that you want to do. And it's like, I can do it. I'm going to do it. Watch me do it. Right? Four of Swords. Ace of Swords in reverse. Yeah. I feel like this is more so listening to your soul's truth. Okay? Your soul's truth. Look who's at the bottom. This is also, the Strength card is also about overcoming your fears, taming them, controlling them, right? So if we become fearless, right, we believe that we can do anything. Page of Wands does. King of Wands knows it with certainty. A leader, powerful, confident, gets things done, just goes right after it, right? The King of Wands kind of like leads by example. The Star, yeah. So many of you, I feel like, especially with the Star being here, this is you. The universe is preparing you for your destiny. Okay? Especially for those of you that feel like, is this all there is? I know I've had those moments too in my own life. Like, is this it? Is this it? Is this all that I meant to do or all that I meant to accomplish? But those of you that are really looking for profound change in your life and are finally taking control back of your life, your mind, right? Your feelings, your emotions, taking your power back and opening yourself up to discovering your unlimited potential within you, not comparing yourself to what that person's doing, what that person's got going on over there. That is you, King of Wands, who is doing things in your own way. You're not following others and what other people think you should be doing, or saying, oh, this is the better choice for you. This is you marching to the beat of your own drum. Especially for those of you that feel like there's something magical, something profound that you're meant to do or to create. It's really tuning into your heart and your intuition, your inner knowing. Some of you could even be discovering talents, hidden talents, things that you have mastered. For those of you that believe in your past lives, right? And those gifts just kind of coming out of you, and you're just like, wow, I'm really good at this. I wonder why. Because it's something that you've mastered in your past life. It's just a hidden talent or skill that you have, you know? Like I said, some of you could be going to school here. Page of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles could be you going to studying, taking a class, a certification. The Star can also be about our destiny, wish fulfillment, right? What we dream, what we desire. That is what the universe is preparing you for, right? But there's work to do. There's transformation that needs to happen. There's feeling more balanced within inside of yourself, overcoming your fears, reclaiming your power here. And again, it's not easy, right? It's not easy. But if we're willing to do that work with changing our mindset and to really working on our confidence in ourselves and doing it for us, not doing it for someone else, not doing it because it's going to make mom or dad happy or because partner says that this is what you should do. You're doing it for you. You're glowing up for you, not for anyone else. Okay? All right, so I'm going to leave this here for you. Group number 2. I do hope this was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next reading. Hi, group 3. So those of you that resonated with the unseen card, which I feel with our question today, what is the universe preparing you for? That is kind of cryptic as a message. So we're just going to see what is coming through with the tarot. What is the universe preparing you for? The unseen. The unseen. So perhaps this is something that we just right now maybe have no realization of, don't even see coming, don't even see happening. Let's see. What is the universe preparing you for? Group 3. Nine of Cups. This feels like with the Nine of Cups being here, this is something that's going to bring you some type of emotional fulfillment. Satisfaction. We've got the Fool, the Ten of Swords, and the Nine of Wands. Knight of Wands. What is the universe preparing you for? Group 3. Oops. Moon in reverse. Well, with the Moon in reverse, something's being revealed here. Something that's hidden. Something that's hidden, meaning this is something that, again, you don't see. The Fool energy here is going to be something that requires you to take a leap of faith. A leap of faith. It's going to bring emotional fulfillment. There's some kind of divine inspiration here to take some kind of action. Knight of Wands here is about pursuing something, going after something. Some of you, this could be career related. The Nine of Pentacles is about financial independence, being self-made. So this may even like be for some of you who are like just inspired by divine, where divine is kind of encouraging you to start that business. Start that business, or even make this change on your career path. And it's going to be something that helps to bring in far more abundance for you. Some of you, this may even involve a unexpected, it feels like perhaps a relocation. Okay. The Death card, that's change for sure. Three of Cups. I mean, we have the Three of Cups here, the Nine of Cups. So whatever this is, it feels like it has to do with career and finances to put you in a better spot. Okay. The Three of Cups is a celebration. So this is something celebratory. So something that's going to be super exciting, something to, I mean, because the Three of Cups is about joy. Nine of Cups is contentment, satisfaction. There is an ending here. The Ten of Swords is here. The Nine of Wands is nearing this completion. Sometimes the Nine of Wands, we can feel like close to burnout. So maybe some of you were like, you've worked so hard, you feel mentally drained, tired, exhausted from maybe the job that you're at, the career that you've been at, and you just feel like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done. I'm ready for something new. So the unseen here with the Death card, to me, this is like an unforeseen change that's going to require a leap of faith. With the Fool here, I almost kind of feel like the way that this is coming through, it's almost like a what you don't see coming reading. with your group. So either way, it's good news for you, group 3. It's a positive change. It's a beautiful change in your life. Maybe it's something that you don't even see for yourself right now. You can't even conceptualize the idea of you doing this right now. But with the moon in reverse, this is, I feel like the fog being lifted, the confusion, maybe the uncertainty on your path right now that you're just like, ooh, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going. And then all of a sudden, something is illuminated for you and it becomes clear what you need to do. And it kind of looks like some kind of new beginning here. So let's kind of go into this a little bit more. And yeah, at the bottom, I'm seeing the 7 of Pentacles. There's the King, the 7 of Swords. So this is going to be something that requires you being strategic, perhaps planning. 7 of Pentacles can talk about feeling success unfulfilled. So maybe some of you might feel like, wow, I put so much time and effort and energy into this job, into this career, and I'm not getting where I want. What do I do? Because we're changing levels here, right? From the Queen to the King energy. We're leveling up. So some of you, this could be a new role. A new role you're taking on, maybe perhaps like applying for a new position, or even something that's being offered to you. You know, the King of Pentacles is an incredibly resourceful energy. So the King of Pentacles is also about taking risks, making wise business decisions. This could even be, for some of you, like I said, entrepreneurship. The King of Pentacles, especially if you're someone who's already a business owner, this could even be you opening up a new business. Okay. Making wise financial decisions, because the King of Pentacles can also be really into real estate, investing, things of that nature. Again, being strategic here, planning. And then you have the Hermit here with the King of Wands. So some of you, yes, this feels like there's a change here. There's going to be a lot of focus here. The 7 of Cups is present and the King of Swords. So this is, to me, this is a vision, a dream. It could even be something that comes through and is revealed to you in a dream. Especially for those of you that have prophetic dreams, or like you dream of yourself like in this place and you're like, you know, you're working or something. You're like, what? You wake up and you're just like, wow. Who was I? Who was I in that dream? What was I doing? The King of Wands is well, first off, you've got 3 kings here. We've got Queen energy underneath here, but then this second layer here, we've got kings. Kings, which is powerful energy. So like I said, it really feels like you're taking things to the next level here. The 7 of Cups is about having options. Maybe some of you are feeling a little bit confused right now and you're just like, I don't know what I want to do. I know that I want to change, but I don't know what it is. And you're feeling that fog. Not clear. That's why it's unseen. You might not even see that you're going to be doing whatever you're doing. And I don't know exactly what it's going to be because this is a general reading, but we've got 3 different kings here. 3 different kings. For some of you, it could be, with the King of Wands energy, perhaps something creative. I'm seeing the Page of Wands here too, which is about feeling... I mean, Page of Wands is about traveling. It's about exploring, discovery. It's a very similar energy to the Fool. This is about adventure, excitement, feeling enthusiastic, wanting to pursue a passion that you have. This is going to be about forging a new path. This is also extremely creative, where the King of Pentacles could be more about using resources in a really good way, you know, some good money-making skills, wise investments, like I said, having to do with For some of you, creating multiple streams of income. King of Swords is very business minded, very intellectual type. You've also got the Knight energy here, 2 Knights, the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Wands. The Knights are very action-oriented energy. There's a lot of focus here with the Knight of Swords, being very brave, very courageous, going after something. To me, when I look at this 5 of Wands energy, it looks like very, like, competitive. Like there's like this feeling that you have inside of yourself, like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna fight for this, I'm gonna make this happen. Something that's just kind of getting you like amped up to be successful. Like you have a plan, you have a dream, you have a goal, and there's nothing that's gonna stop you from doing it. And with the Hermit energy here, this is helpful, especially if we're feeling a little clouded, we're feeling lost. The Hermit energy is about soul searching. It's about you discovering yourself and what you like, what your passions are. I've done a lot of private readings for people that are, looking for advice and guidance on what their destined career path is or what their soul's purpose is. And I feel like a lot of the time when, with some of the clients where I ask, like, well, what are you passionate about? And the answer is, I don't know. I don't have a direction. I don't know. And we can't, in a way, give you that answer, right? This has to be something that you feel and that you discover within yourself, right? And the story that I like to give with that is where I tell most of my clients, like, 10, 15 years ago, if you would have told me that this is what I was going to be doing in my life, I never would have even thought of that at all, ever, because I had never had a tarot reading. I had never seen a tarot deck in my entire life before I had my spiritual awakening. And I woke up one day and I felt like this overwhelming push and message from source that said, go buy a tarot deck. And I thought that was like completely irrational. Like, what am I doing right now? Why am I at the bookstore buying a tarot deck? I don't know a thing about tarot. And then coming home and bringing it and looking at it like, what is this? And what do I do with it? But I feel like for some of you, it's going to be where you just don't know. And the only way that you really find that answer is by really getting to know yourself, right? Exploring, allowing yourself to try new things and do new things, because that's how you find what makes you excited, what makes you happy, what brings you joy when you're doing it, right? That's an answer that has to come from within inside of the self. It's what you feel, right? Not what somebody tells you should feel. It has to come through the Hermit, which is self-discovery, looking deeper within the self, getting to know the self, right? In a way, because no one else is going to, right? No one else is going to study you as deeply and intently as no one else but you. Surely there can be people that we have that really care to ask questions and get to know us and really understand us, but no one knows you like you, right? And so I feel like this is and can be a beautiful change that you make within your life. The Fool is fearless. Like I said, this could be something that's completely like, wow, I can't believe I'm doing this right now. I'm going for it. I'm making a radical change in my life, but it feels good. You know, the Nine of Cups is there. It's happiness, wish fulfillment, something that maybe unexpectedly brings you emotional fulfillment that you never even, you know, thought of. I feel like in a way. So let's look at that. Let's look at this Nine of Cups. Page of Cups. Three of Wands. Judgment. Yeah, Judgment is about your soul's calling. It's about awakening. Answering the call of your soul. Answering the call of your soul. What else do we have here? Okay. This is another side message, but it could be for some of you. Those of you that are open to love, okay, you could have a new connection coming in for you within the next, well, actually, wait, let's see. I want to say within the next 9 months. Some of you, this could be during Scorpio season, okay? But some of you, I'm feeling it could be within the next 9 months. That could be an unforeseen, say, connection, new love interest coming in here. And especially for those of you that have been single, for a while, and you've been really wanting something more solid, more secure, I do see that coming in for you as well. And again, that might be another situation where it requires you to take a leap of faith, because maybe for some of you, you've been resisting dating or just, spending a lot of time in solitude. And that's perfectly okay as well if you've been putting a lot of focus towards your career and your finances and things of that nature because you've been feeling that you needed some time alone and you needed to heal. Okay. Then you can certainly have new connection coming in, something that's far more in alignment for you. Okay. Now, Judgment is about making a major decision, a major life decision. So that's kind of where I'm feeling the focus is here for many of you, is that you're being called to I'm almost hearing like rise to the occasion, but to awaken to what you're being called to do, to your path. Maybe for some of you it is a destined career path. Perhaps for some of you it is something that you're meant to create in this lifetime, something that you're meant to do in this lifetime. And it is going to be something that does require you, like I said, to take that leap of faith there. Okay, so if you're feeling confused right now, if you're feeling a little bit clouded and unclear, don't force it. Okay, don't try to force yourself to make a decision in that mind. The answers will come, okay, with the Hermit energy here, but this is about quieting the mind. It's about stillness. Sometimes we need to take some time to kind of just withdraw from the world a little bit and just kind of have time for us, for ourselves, be in our own energy, be in our own thoughts, and not be distracted by other people, other situations, and just focus on ourselves, and that I feel like in a way is really very rewarding, because it's kind of like we give back to us, right? In that way. All right, so this looks super excited. I feel like if you guys remember, maybe once this plays out, come back, bookmark this video somehow, some way. I don't know how you guys do it. Maybe by liking the video, if it goes into your likes or something like that, where you can come back and let me know what this is and how it showed up for you and what's going on. Give us the insight into what this looks like and how it's manifesting in your life. I'm excited to hear about it. Okay. All right. So I'm going to leave this here for you. Group 3, I do hope this is helpful, and I will see you guys in the next reading.